Section 3.6 is on multiplying matrices. In order to be able to multiply two matrices, the number of columns of the first matrix must be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So let's take a look at this. Matrix A has m number of rows and r number of columns. Matrix B has r number of rows and t number of columns. So the number of columns of A must be equal to the number of rows in B. In other words, these two numbers on the inside must be the same. Then the product is going to be an m by t matrix. So A times B is going to have m number of rows and t number of columns. So to multiply two 2x2 matrices, here's how we do it. So if matrix A has these elements, matrix B has these elements, the first element of the product of A times B is to take little a times E and add it to B times G, and so on. As you can see, it's very complicated. You're kind of going across and going down and multiplying and adding at the same time, but it's really easy on the calculator, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So the first set of problems we're going to take a look at here is to determine whether each matrix product is defined. In other words, is it possible to multiply these two matrices? So remember, these two numbers in here, the number of columns of the first matrix, must be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. So yes, indeed, this matrix product is defined, and the dimensions of the matrix are going to be these numbers here on the outside. So the matrix A times B is going to have 2 rows and 3 columns. Example number 2 here, the number of columns of A is 4, the number of rows in B is 5, so no, this matrix product is not defined. Okay, so now we're going to multiply each of these matrices if possible. So this is a 2x2 matrix, and this is a 2x2 matrix. So indeed, this product is possible. So let me show you now how you're going to put these into your calculator. So here's your calculator. The button, let's see, the x to the negative 1 button, you'll see up above it, it says matrix. So we want to go to second and select matrix. And you may not have anything in here. I have a few in here that have been in here before. So we have names, math, and edit. And what I want to do is I want to create two matrices. I'm going to use A and B that have the numbers that I had over here. So I'm going to go over to edit and hit enter. So right now my matrix A is a 2x3 matrix. I actually need it to be a 2x2 matrix. So I'm going to arrow over and change that to 2 and hit enter. And you'll notice that it's turned it into, there's 4 little boxes here that you can see. That's where it will put the numbers. So I can just start entering my numbers. 10, enter, and notice it goes across. And then I need -2. And now it goes down to the bottom left. I need -7 and 3. And there's matrix A. To get out of this, I think I can do second matrix, which takes me back to my menu. I want to go over to edit and down to matrix B and hit enter. Now I have matrix B. Mine was set up as a 3x1, but I need to change it to a 2x2. I think I can hit 2 and then enter. There we go, by 2. And now let's put in the numbers that I had, which were 1, 4, 5, and -2. And now I have matrix B. Now I want to quit this and go back to my main screen. I guess I could have gone straight to the matrix menu. Now what I want to do is go back to matrix, and now I'm not going to go over to edit. I'm going to stay here in names, and if I hit notice the 1 is highlighted. If I hit enter, it puts A on the screen. and I want to hit the multiplication button. Go back to the matrix menu, stay in names, and go down to 2, hit enter. Now it's going to multiply A times B, and hit enter again, and there's my answer, the matrix. And notice it kind of puts it kind of funny in funny brackets. When we write our answer, we're going to put it in one big set of square brackets. 0, 44, 8, negative 34. So this is equal to 0, 44, 8, and negative 34. A lot easier doing it with the calculator than it is doing it by hand. My second example, my first matrix has 2 rows and 1 column. So this is a 2 by 1 matrix. My second matrix is 1 row and it has 3 columns. And this matrix product is possible because notice I have 1s on the inside. So I'm going to go back to my calculator and do this multiplication. So go to matrix. Now I have to edit. I'll need to change the dimensions of A. I want a 2 by 1 matrix. And my numbers were negative 9 and 6. And I'll go back to matrix, and I want to go down to, let's go over to edit. Did I do that wrong? Oh, I bet I did that. Did I put that one in B? Let me see. Oh, I think I put that one in B. Let's go back and change that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's make this our 2 by 1. And negative 9 and 6. Matrix. Okay, there we go. That's better. Let's edit B. And this one I want to be a 1 by 3. And my numbers were negative 1, negative 10, and 1. Okay, there we go. So let's go to matrix, and I want to do A. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Sorry. Let's just clear out and start over. Okay, matrix. I want to get A on there. There we go. Times matrix B. There we go. And does this make sense? I have a 2 row and 3 column matrix. Does that make sense? Yes, it should be have 2 rows and 3 columns. And let's go ahead and copy that here. 9, 90, negative 9, negative 6, negative 60, and 6. Let me confirm that is what I had on the calculator here. Yep, that works. Okay. Notice the spacing. Don't try to crowd your matrices. It'll just be too hard to read. And then let's take a look at our last example here. This matrix has 2 rows going across and 3 columns going down. And this matrix here is a 2 by 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. And these numbers here in the middle are not the same, so this matrix product is not possible. So we say that this matrix is undefined. Again, make sure you know how to use your calculator. It's very helpful when doing matrix products, and especially will be helpful in the next lesson.